brought to you by IWCRadio.com. It's the internet's most irreverent wrestling podcast. Now, please welcome Beans, Smoot, Chucks, and Will. This is the IWC.
Hello everyone and welcome to IWC Radio. This is episode 163 and we're coming to you live on youtube.com and iTunes. I'm your host Martin Nolan and I'm being joined as usual by Smoot, Chucks and Will. How's it going, guys?
Hold on, I'll tell you how it's going. There we go.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Straight in there. Straight in there.
Wow.
Oh wow, we even get the pouring sound as a bonus.
Yeah, that's how it's going.
What is it?
Oh, a Mountain Dew SA.
I so thought you were going to say Kickstart.
Have you gone Mexican?
Is it?
It's Mountain Dew USA.
Oh god. Yeah.
Did I make that joke last week? I feel like I made that joke last week.
No, you should have though. You should have. That would have been a lot better.
What does the SA stand for?
S and A. That's all I can know.
Brilliant.
States of America, I believe.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there you go.
America?
Yeah.
Oh, like USA. Yeah, okay.
You get it now? Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
It's like,
We've definitely had this conversation before.
Yeah.
Sure, this happened last week.
Yeah.
You did, you know.
you just didn't make the Mexican joke.
Yeah,
I'm thinking I did.
it might even have been the week before due to Independence Day.
Earlier I had a Pepsi Cherry Vanilla.
Cherry vanilla.
Yeah.
We've got diet cherry vanilla.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I haven't tried it because, like, you, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of tempted because we don't get vanilla anymore. I did manage to find cans of vanilla today at Poundland. 3 for £1. So that's like a double win. But generally, almost impossible to find.
I did actually have a look when you mentioned about this vanilla thing, and I really struggled to find it.
Should have just started to do Pepsi Max Ginger.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I've not tasted it yet, but I want to try
I've
it.
got to say, it doesn't jump off the page at me. Oh, phone noise.
Have you noticed lately, for the last few years, Coke's only been sold in 1.25 or 1.75 litre bottles? They've got rid of their 2 litre bottle.
Why?
Yeah,
Really?
but still charge you the same as the 2 litre.
They still charge you the same.
Yeah, that's.
And
So,
now
clever folk.
they've released a new 3 litre bottle.
Ooh.
Oh, they've had that for a while in Iceland.
So why not 2?
By the way, Iceland was supermarket, not
They hate
Not the country.
they hate the number 2.
Yeah, just to
Okay.
confuse any of our American listeners that think that we're actually going to Iceland to drink, charter a plane for these 3 litre bottles.
That's why Americans think Europe is so small.
Yeah.
Go to Iceland to get the frozen food.
Yeah, we got Germany for our sausages.
Yeah, right.
I can't think of anything else. That's terrible. Austria for beer.
Yeah, or Belgium.
Or Belgium.
Belgium. Yeah, that could happen. Edge just asked, isn't
Actually, it
Europe
probably-
small in the
It
chat?
could happen. We actually do sometimes go to France to get cheap wine.
Oh, we
That's
do.
a thing that happens.
Yeah. Sometimes it
It's
works
not
out
so-
cheap enough to rent a van.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing us Brits do.
We do.
We're also crazy because we watch rather strange pay-per-views called Great Balls of Fire.
No, that's like everybody though.
Yeah, but we stay up until 4 in the morning to do it.
Yeah.
No, we don't. Not anymore. Not since the network kicked off.
I'm sure there's people that do.
Yeah. I was one of those people until a year or 2 ago.
I must admit, I don't do it often. I still do it for the big ones.
If I can, I will.
Yeah. Yeah, that's worth staying up for, I would say, for you guys.
I'll do it for Mania and maybe SummerSlam on the Rumble.
The Rumble, yeah. I'd
So,
stay up
yeah.
for Cyber Sunday if we still got that.
What about Taboo Tuesday?
It's a work night. I
Yeah.
suppose Sunday is too, but you know.
I was just gonna say, huh?
I mean, I'm already in. You know, that's kind of midweek. I'm in the routine.
Oh, jeez.
I've never understood that why WWE schedule their pay-per-views on a Sunday.
Because nothing else is on a
No
Sunday.
competition,
I suppose, but surely everyone, well, most people are in work no matter what time the next day.
yeah. Well, they don't have to stay
Yeah.
up till 4 to watch it.
It's over by 11 p.m.
True. It's just
Or in the good old days, 10. But yeah, well, we're screwed. Just, I mean, like, what was it? It was 5:30 in the morning when WrestleMania finished this year.
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. We're gonna get that
Uh,
again for SummerSlam as well. They've announced that's gonna be 4 hours.
Ed's just asked in the chat, have any of you taken the day off after a long pay-per-view like Mania or Rumble?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Taking a day
Yes.
off, no.
That's how sad us British fans are, Ed.
Kind of
That
have
we
to,
actually
really.
if we want to watch a pay-per-view live and we actually want to keep our jobs as well,
Yeah.
we end up having to take annual leave.
And some people want everything. They just want it all.
I
They
will
want
tell
to
you
watch
now.
WrestleMania and keep their jobs. Like, damn, spoiled. Millennials. God.
Yeah. It's my goddamn right.
You're
I will-
entitled to.
I have actually booked the 21st of August.
So there you go. Living proof
SummerSlam
it's
is the 20th.
happening.
There you go.
Actually, I was going to say, next weekend's the pay-per-view, isn't it? It's
Already?
the Battleground one.
Battleground.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
off the week afterwards, so I'm actually off work the day afterwards, so I could watch Battleground live. What a shit pay-per-view I could watch live.
That's why I didn't bother booking it off.
I'm gonna stay up till 4 in the morning to watch a Punjabi prison match.
The 22nd, 23rd. Okay. I've requested that week off too. I don't know if I'll get it, but I've requested that week. So I may actually stay up with you to watch that.
There you go. Might make it a British thing.
Yeah.
I won't be joining you.
I actually do quite enjoy the Punjabi prison though. I'm actually quite excited for that.
Wow.
Maybe I'm the one.
Well, for any excitement I have for the Punjabi prison match, it's been completely destroyed by the flag match.
Oh, God, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, like, damn. As if there was a rivalry, it just did not need to be renewed.
Yeah.
It's bloody Rusev and John Cena. So, yeah, Ed just said they should rename it the British Battleground. I agree.
Mm.
Yeah, British Battleground, where there's a flag match between someone from Bulgaria and the United States of America. So there we go. We've got a pay-per-view to review, which we will pass over to Chucks in a second. Firstly, though, just a few bit. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of warning there, just to get that notepad ready. But yeah, we got a couple of bits of news. This week, WWE cancelled Talking Smack.
Horse shit.
Which we made the mistake of telling Smoot just before we went on air. And his reaction was golden, the same as last week's reaction to Dixie Carter. And I really wish that I'd just told him on air.
I thought you were joking when you first said that to me. I was like, that's a joke, right?
So, basically, this show's objective now is to try and shock Smoot into a reaction. And WWE did a fairly good job of this because basically they hadn't told Renee Young or Daniel Bryan that they was not going to be on Talking Smack anymore because it doesn't exist now. So, yeah, apparently a fan had sent a message to Renee saying about how sorry to hear that you're not on, Talking Smack is no more. And she replied with, oh, this is a good way to find out some news. So, what do we guys think? I think this is a pretty
I haven't
move.
seen it for a little while because Daniel Bryan disappeared and got replaced by JBL. So I kind of tapped out from the whole Talking Smack thing. Is he back now? Is he a regular again?
Well, he was.
Oh, wait, was?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I blame JBL for the cancellation, the demise.
News update as well. Laura in the other room overheard me saying that I'm off that week and could be watching the British Battleground pay-per-view. And she's informed me that morning we're at the hospital. So, no, I don't think I'm going to be watching Battleground live anymore. So the Punjabi prison will have to wait. I can't say that I'm all that bothered.
No. If it's any consolation, they haven't completely cancelled it. It's going to be on after the SmackDown pay-per-views.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So they've said that it will continue after the pay-per-views. But
yeah.
The weekly version. And this, obviously, I think there's some relation on this on 205 Live. But the fact that 205 Live's been given precedence over Talking Smack, which I think in general consensus fans appreciate Talking Smack more than they do 205 Live.
Well, that's what the ratings say. No one watches 205.
Wonder why.
Nothing happens on it. Why would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's full of guys that make no difference on Raw.
Yeah.
They're just kind of there. And then they've got a show where nothing happens.
Yeah.
Ed's also said he's wondering whether there's more to this about Renee, because apparently her other show, Unfiltered, was also
Unfiltered.
cancelled.
I was just going to mention that, yeah.
Yeah. And
add that in with the marriage thing and the going on a different show to Dean. I think it's all coincidence, but
I hope she doesn't end up going, because I like her. She's
Renee tweeted a couple of days ago, yesterday, saying, "Guess I'll go back to welcoming my guest at this time."
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, oh my god, I feel so bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, to be honest as well, they don't need her to do that, because they've got Tyler Breeze.
Oh.
You mean Tenay Young?
Tenay Young, yeah.
At first I thought, why a Mike Tenay gimmick? You don't look... Oh, right, yeah, like Renee. Yeah, okay.
I was a bit shocked when I actually realised that the word Tenay had been said on WWE programming. I did have a slight heart attack, thinking that he might just show up, giving us a tail of the tape. But there we go. So that happened. Will, did you say there was some other news as well that you wanted to mention?
Oh yeah. Speaking of people you wouldn't expect to show up on WWE, we all know about this secret that Angle apparently has.
Oh yeah.
Apparently on Eric Bischoff's podcast this week, he kind of let it slip of who it is.
Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
How's he let it slip?
Who is it?
How's he know?
Who is it? Who is it?
Apparently, he was talking about the whole Angle in general, and I'll read exactly what he said. He said, "I'm sure I'm going to be burning a bridge with someone on this one, because I'm not supposed to know about this, and hopefully nobody gets into any trouble over this, because leaks happen. But you remember the storyline with AJ and Claire?"
No!
His co-host then said, "Oh my god, yeah, how could you forget?" Bischoff then said, "WWE is ripping that off. Dixie is Claire and Kurt is AJ."
Oh my god. Oh my...
Hang on, what?
Wait.
Oh my god.
Did I just hear you say that it might be Dixie Carter?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry about that.
So, according to Bischoff, hold on. let me piece this together here. According to Bischoff, the person over the phone is Dixie Carter.
No wonder he's been looking at his phone like that for about 6 months. That's a Smoot's face.
And if it gets out, it'll ruin him. That he's involved with Dixie Carter.
My God, if they find out for the last 11 years I've been working with this woman.
You'll have to remind me about the whole Claire Lynch thing, but didn't it start with AJ being accused of having an affair with Dixie?
Yeah.
It
then
kind of was, yeah.
Yeah, so then Claire Lynch was a crazy woman, right, who claimed that her baby was AJ's, is that right?
Something like that,
I think it worked towards
No,
that
it was
eventually, I think.
Daniels and Kaz found her. She was an actress.
She was in real life actress at the Orlando Universal theme park.
Right.
Yeah.
But in storyline, what I can't remember what actually happened. I've blanked it all out.
Same.
Okay, because I'm just trying to think. Like there was the accusation of the affair, and then Serge showed up and punched him.
Yeah.
So if Dixie is playing Claire, not playing Dixie, then Kurt isn't having the affair with her. Dixie has a baby. Right?
Yeah, and then Kaz and Daniels will come out and make fun of him for it. They'll have like a little plastic baby doll. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I've not heard it myself, but I've read the transcript of what he apparently said.
What was Dixie Carter also did a tweet midweek, didn't she? Which I think, did you not send that to Smoot?
Yeah. Oh my god.
And
Yeah,
it all
you did.
kind of makes sense now, doesn't it?
You did.
So yeah, twice in a week, Smoot. Sorry.
Right. Okay. So Kaz
Been
and
reading
Daniels.
up on it. Oh god.
Yeah, I am. This is right. Kaz and Daniels revealed photos insinuating a relationship between AJ and Dixie. So they went to the hotel rooms and whatever, and they wouldn't say what was going on. And Serge punched him. And then it all had to come out that they were helping Claire Lynch, who was a drug addict. And that was basically it. And then, there was the whole thing about AJ being the dad. But, and then there was a paternity test. Oh man, I forgot all about that.
There is no baby.
Wow, that was amazing. There is no baby. So, right, okay, so if Dixie is Claire, not Dixie, then she is a drug addict who is currently pregnant, I guess?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, this is
gonna.
Well, I'm going to be watching Raw next week.
Yeah,
I need to see what happens here.
Assuming that it doesn't get rewritten because Bischoff, spilled the beans in a way.
Mm-hmm. Like the Vince's son angle had to get rewritten last minute.
Yeah.
Ed's tweeting now. That's why Paul's going. He's just put in the chat. Smoot, we're gonna need a live feed on YouTube Monday of your reaction when Kurt Angle's reveal is done.
Oh my god.
I agree.
I certainly agree, and also, he said fantasy booking to make Smoot explode. Kurt Angle reveals Dixie had a baby with him. Triple H then comes out to claim custody. We get a custody rights ladder match between Angle and Triple H at SummerSlam. To be honest, Smoot could already be dead.
Possibly.
It is worth noting as well that Raw is actually in Nashville on Monday.
Nashville, yeah.
My god! It's all coming together.
So yeah. And speaking of people you wouldn't expect to be on WWE, it's 15 years to the day since Bischoff was revealed as GM.
Oh my god.
Is that right?
Since the hug. Just looked at your picture.
This is
I
gonna
really
be,
do need to see your reaction live.
This is going to be a shit show. Is what it's going to be.
It's going to be shit, but your reaction will make it awesome.
I think it's amazing.
Do you think they're gonna have like this horrific moment with like Stephanie and Dixie in the ring at the same time, like with Michael Cole going, "What did you ever think you would see this?"
In my 20 years of covering WWE, I've never thought I'd see this.
The thing is, though, if this generally does happen, apart from the likes of us, who's gonna know who Dixie Carter is?
Same with who people would know, Samoa Joe, stuff like that beforehand.
Suppose. Just, I think Dixie Carter's got less of a name though than Samoa Joe.
Oh, totally. Totally.
But saying that, she has been around. She's been on TNA for a long time. People did know who Samoa Joe was. People do know who AJ is. People know the Broken Hardy stuff. It's kind of crazy for such a small show.
Yeah.
How well known TNA's stuff is. It's like everyone kind of knows of it and knows what's going on, but doesn't actually watch it.
I mean, what are they gonna introduce her as? I mean,
are they gonna have to put TNA Dixie on her?
Oh god!
Graphic?
Yeah. I forgot about. Yeah, what are they gonna?
And even in the, I don't know if anyone saw the angles, the angle special, but even when they were talking about that, he didn't reference TNA at all.
The only mention of it was, I think, the little lower third that said former TNA president.
But he didn't actually make any mention of it. But it was on the screen, but there was no mention of TNA.
Yeah.
And in that article as well, it was, there was no, they've never mentioned TNA specifically, but surely they have to if she's going to be on screen.
Former president of that one company that we were competing with.
Yeah.
No, they were never competing.
No.
Never.
Not competition.
No, of course not.
As also just said in the chat, imagine that WWE is able to get Dixie Carter on their programming, but had to wait to get the Hardys to do the broken gimmick.
That's true.
It is a frightening prospect, isn't it? It's. Imagine WWE having Dixie Carter on TV and Austin Aries has left. Or maybe he knew she would come in.
Yeah. I'm off.
Yeah. I really like the Indies. So, is there any other news that we're aware of this week? Can we kill Smoot off yet? Or?
I think that's me, might have just done it.
So, Dixie, any chance it might be anywhere near Raw next Monday? And she replies, pretty close.
Fucking Christ. I honestly can't believe this is happening.
It's like Twilight Zone for Smoot, then.
A little bit. A little bit.
How would you book it, Smoot?
I wouldn't. That's how I would book it. I wouldn't. Fucking bullshit.
Oh dear. Anyway, so yeah, before the impending doom of Dixie Carter's debut on Raw, should we talk about Great Balls of Fire?
Sure.
Goodness gracious.
Sure, let's do that.
Not that it's important, because it won't matter after Monday, but...
No.
I'm not sure it matters now. It's done.
It is done.
It's done. We're moving on. Looking forward to SummerSlam. And this is just a thing. That... Yeah, stuff.
So, did we not like Great Balls of Fire? I did.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was... yeah, most of it. Well, I guess we'll get to it. You can talk all about how much you loved it. Let's do the predictions. Okay, let's start off. Our extra bonus predictions didn't happen. Finn Balor was nowhere near the show. R-Truth, Goldust, they had to wait till Raw. So we were way off on that one. Seemed like they should happen. Where's Finn Balor? Why is he not a priority anymore? I guess because he's a babyface, and this was a show where all the heels won. So, kickoff. Neville retained his Cruiserweight title against Akira Tozawa. That gave us all a point. So, good start, everyone. Well done.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Did anyone actually watch the pre-show?
Yeah.
I saw bits and pieces of it. I think I caught it near the tail end of it. There's a couple moments where, Tozawa almost had it.
Yeah. Got them 2 counts.
I don't remember much of it. It was on, but I've got to be honest, I was probably getting stuff ready to watch the main show, so...
And that's why people don't watch 205.
Unfortunately.
So we kicked off, and I don't know why, we kicked off with Bray Wyatt beating Seth Rollins in the longest 12 minutes I've seen in a long time.
I didn't think that this was too bad considering, but...
I just don't know why... Like, I joked last week that this was a nothing match, and it was so much... Like, it wasn't even less than... It wasn't bad enough to be noteworthy for being bad. I don't know why these guys are fighting, and I don't know why anyone should care.
I mean, they were putting so much effort in, but also it just didn't feel justified for the feud. But also it was just one of them things where I was so conflicted when it started, because I was like, you're really going to start your pay-per-view with this? Like, you want something to get you, like,
high energy,
get the wheels moving, and I was just like, geez, and I thought, well, maybe it's a good thing, because this is the one match that I really wanted to avoid. Get it out of the way. But then it did.
I mean, these are like 2 of the bigger stars on the show. You'd think that this should be a hot match, but it so wasn't.
And I really was quite annoyed, because I sat there and I thought, they give Seth Rollins the win for being the cover star, and then I thought, but then again, there's now on the line, it means fuck all. So Bray Wyatt probably will win, and he did.
Yeah.
Shucks was the only one that got a point off of it.
I did get a point off of that one. Yeah. I don't know where these guys go from here, if not a rematch. Surely they just do this again.
Maybe the match that they have at SummerSlam will be to change the front cover of the game.
Oh.
To put Bray Wyatt on the case.
Because, Lord knows, I really want to buy a game that's got Bray Wyatt on the front. Can't contain my excitement.
Maybe it'll go to a draw, and they'll do one of those reversible inserts with Rollins on one side and Wyatt on the other.
Yeah, but Bray will want to be on the front where he's like got the lantern, and on the inside it's blown out. I don't know.
All right,
Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe.
Why not?
It'd be really easy to do because the inside of it would just be black.
Yeah.
Now then again, the lights come on as soon as he's blowing the light out, aren't it? So that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Anyway,
So yeah.
Last time I blew a candle out in the dark room, all of a sudden the lights just come on, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, usually when you blow out the candles on a cake, then people do turn the lights back on, right?
Oh, yeah, true.
That's kind of what happens. Also, I think we're thinking along the same lines because in your idea, the inside would be black, and with my idea, the inside would be Tyler Black.
Hey.
Oh God.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah. Right, so then we had Enzo Amore promoing for his career. This guy's awesome, right?
Yeah.
I've liked him more since this split up.
Yeah. He seems like he's... It's not just that he's serious, but he's got something to do now.
Yeah.
He's proving himself.
Did anyone else feel it went on a little bit long?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. But...
Yeah, maybe, but he's so good I don't really mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
It's not like one of those Triple H or Steph promos. It's 20 minutes of like, come on now.
Just for business.
You've said your thing. Come on. At least with his, it was somewhat new. He was getting a new character over.
What do we think to Big Cass's music?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Although, did you see when he came out and he stuck up his arm? It was blocking out part of his Titantron, so it said "big ass."
Yeah.
I heard this, but I didn't actually see it or didn't notice it
I'll
at
see
the
if I
time.
can try to pull it up here for you.
But yeah. I thought that. Sorry, just because it kind of reminded me. There's a program on in Britain called The Last Leg, and they're covering the Paralympic competition at the minute in London, and they've got all posters of all the athletes where, like, you know, from the competition, and obviously they're all wearing jerseys and vests that say Great Britain, and the host kept sitting in front of it and he was covering the G and the R in front of Great, so it looked like it just said Eat Britain on all the shirts. Just reminded me of it when you said that.
There was another slightly poorly timed camera angle. I don't know if we can throw this up on the stream. Just makes great radio, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the eat balls.
balls.
Yeah. Hold on. Get this up on the screen. There we go. Yeah.
So yeah, let's read. Oh God, it really does say big ass. Oh wow.
I think they'll be changing that for Royal Monday.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh man, that's unfortunate and hilarious at the same time. So yeah, so this match happened, and surprisingly, it was a match.
It was a bit of a match, yeah. I think we all, well, I was going to say I think we all saw this coming, but apparently Will didn't,
No.
which kind of surprises me. What was your thinking?
I don't know.
We've all been there.
Was it not something to do with carrying the feud on and just like going with a shot win or something? And
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah.
yeah. See, I try to save you there, Will.
Thanks, please.
Alright, no probs. Just remember that when I screw up. All the time.
So Big Cass is clearly their guy. They like him, even though he's a Trump guy. I don't know if you've heard the stories about these guys that they both have heat.
Didn't I get thrown off a bush?
Wait, who?
Enzo did.
Enzo.
Yeah, Enzo did for being disrespectful or something. And Cass
Roman
apparently
Reigns.
On
Cass
earth, you want that?
yeah,
There's a story going around that Enzo did something on a bus, and
Did
Reigns.
something on a bus?
he basically pissed
Reigns.
off Reigns, and Reigns
kicked him out the locker room.
threw him off the bus.
Reigns threw him off the bus.
Yeah,
God, he really is the big cock, isn't he?
I didn't know, but apparently the same thing happened to the Miz a few years ago.
Oh, but yeah. Well, JBL swears it wasn't him.
I was just going to say it has to be JBL. If it's years ago when the Miz, JBL definitely did it.
Yeah, he was on Bring It to the Table a little while back, and he said there were stories going around, and he kind of played up to them. You know, he was playing a character at the time. He was still active and that, and he, you know, it was a good rumor to be going around, so he kind of played up to it, but it wasn't him, honest. Yeah, okay. And yeah, so Enzo got thrown out of the locker room apparently a couple of times, and Big Cass, even though Vince is a big Republican guy, the wrestlers generally aren't. So as Cass as a big Trump guy, it's not going over so well. These are the stories that have been going around this week.
None as impactful as the Dixie story for Smoot, though.
Christ.
Sorry, just a small reminder for you. Just in case you were getting lost in the great pay-per-view last weekend.
I get it. Let's see what you did there. Then we had The Bar defeating the Hardy Boys 4-3 in an Iron Man match. So, me and Will, we had The Bar going over. Beans thought the Hardys would do it. Smoot thought there would be a draw, and there very nearly was.
It came close to being a draw.
It did come close to being a draw, as Iron Man matches always do.
Yeah, true. And I was annoyed because I only picked the Hardys because I thought they were going to be feuding with the Revival afterwards, and it turns out they are, just not for the fucking titles. So I was slightly frustrated, to say the least, with that. It does look like the broken gimmick is being pushed as much as possible now, isn't it? To the envelope.
Which
they're doing as much as they can without doing it. Yeah.
Speaking of, this is another sort of thing with the big ass image earlier. Matt Hardy got busted open, and while he was tending to his wound at the end, you get to see this image. As soon as it comes up on the stream, there it goes.
Eat balls.
Eat balls.
Don't worry, this time next year, Smoot, you'll be doing the same caption. It'll just be Dixie Carter that's blocking out the start of the word. You know, I feel like every comment that we make, we're slowly killing him.
Without anyone blocking the Great Balls thing, it would still say Great Balls. That's funny anyway.
If Big Show stood there, it'd just say balls.
It would just say balls.
That was a pretty nasty cut, actually, from Matt.
Was
it? Yeah.
I didn't even really see where it happened.
It was right near the end, wasn't it? And the ref got the towel in there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
No, I just mean like the actual. I didn't understand what contact caused it. There wasn't anything obvious. Like normally, when something like that happens, it's normally a shot that's gone awry that's quite obvious, or a clash of heads. But yeah, it was Edge now trying to piss me off because he just said maybe next year Beans Mojo Rawley will be standing up holding the WWE title in front of the sign so it says eat balls.
Stranger things have happened.
God damn it. Stranger things definitely happened. Dixie could be holding it.
Dixie could be. The Hardys have really taken a beating in this feud. I'm pretty sure they'd be glad to get this one over with.
I mean, they pretty much. So they lost to The Bar, then they lost to Gallows and Anderson the following night, and then they got beat up by the Revival as well. So they've pretty much, you know.
They've paid their dues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're hazing these new guys. Yeah. Okay, if no one else has anything to say about Iron Man, we get the screwy finish next. Yeah. Alexa Bliss retains, as me, Beans, and Will thought she would, Smoot picks up a point because instead of just giving Alexa the belt, they did the count-out thing.
Yeah.
Sasha technically won.
Yep.
So, boo to that.
Yeah. That's frustrating. But you know that they're always going to do this on something.
Yeah, you do.
It's almost like we know that Vince is listening to this show and he just really wants to fuck our predictions up.
Yeah.
So the bit that took my attention in this one was the attack afterwards.
Yeah.
So Sasha did her double knee jump off the announce table.
Yeah.
Like into Alexa's face.
Yeah.
And I mean, she went down like a sack of shit off this, and when she got back to her feet, she was bleeding from the nose and mouth by the look of it. And I was like, I'm not being funny, but it looked like her head just like bounced off the floor. It looked really dangerous, this I thought.
Yeah, kind of.
I didn't think it was a smart move to be doing on concrete outside.
Yeah, probably not. I couldn't really see exactly what happened because I was worried about Sasha's knees. I think if you jump from that high onto your knees, then you're going to come up with no knees.
Yeah.
But it kind of looked like she straightened her legs out, and it was more like a Mysterio-style seated senton, I used to call it. She kind of sat on her, went down, and looked, safer. But yeah, I don't know about Alexa in that case.
I was really worried about Alexa because she came off her feet, and it looked like the first thing that would have hit the floor was her head. And then, as soon as she gets up, you start to see blood, and you're thinking, she's not got any obvious wounds, and blood's coming out of the mouth or the nose. That's internal bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a particularly comfortable maneuver, I didn't think.
Yeah, as long as they're both alright, it's a cool looking move. I'm okay with it. No other thoughts about the match, where they go from here? Looks like another rematch.
Yeah, I don't know. You keep wondering whether they're gonna make it a 4-way with Nia Jax and Bayley involved. I don't know.
I think that is the way they're going, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a WrestleMania rematch, isn't it? But no, Alexa's tagging in for Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's too close, though.
Yeah, again, it's one of them things where you just... you kind of feel sorry for Alexa because you think, she's come on so well, and since she's gone to the main roster, and she had the horrific segment with Bayley with the "This Is Your Life" stuff, but she was obviously trying to rescue this horrifically written scene, and she's done everything great. But when it comes to the matches, she's not having bad matches, and she's by no means a poor performer. But it's just nothing stands out to me. I can't remember what's happened a few months ago, if you know what I mean, on pay-per-views. It's just, I don't know, I'm thinking that she should be having good she should be having matches that you will remember now. Yeah, she's reached that point where you'd be thinking she's building a bit of a legacy for herself here, and it's just starting to think, even though she's a good champion, when she loses this, are we going to remember this reign? You know what I mean? It's a bit...
Yeah, I think that's unfair. I mean, you're right. You're not wrong about any of that. But you could say that about The Miz. Definitely say that about Dean Ambrose. Say that about the Hardys' title reign. I mean, other than when they won the belts. Could probably even say about Neville. I mean, he's done great, but no single match really stands out as being like he's had good ones, but Lesnar, I guess, doesn't really count. But you could say about most championship reigns over the last 10, 15 years. You don't really remember any. Nothing stands out as being like an amazing title reign. Not since like Randy Orton with the IC belt. You think he actually came on. He was a blue chipper at the start, and then by the end was a serious, credible world title contender. Who else has done that since then?
Mm. No, and I don't mean it to sound negative on Alexa. I'm just thinking that she's. I just keep thinking back. I think back to like matches with her and Bayley, and you're thinking, well, they should be like, really standing out, like women's revolution, all that business. You're thinking that you'd be looking for real standout matches, and everything just seems to have always fallen short or has been frustrating. And it's not because of them, it's just the booking that they've put them under and the story that they're trying to tell, which just didn't need to go the way that it did.
I agree. But then I'd say the same thing about Charlotte and Becky and all the others. They are better than anything they've done.
Ed raises a good point. When are we supposed to take Alexa's arm injuries seriously?
Oh god.
Yes, she did that again.
Yeah, and it's like, and then they've then said that she dislocated and then put it back in. No, it's called. It's like, what? It's a double joint. Get over yourselves.
I just loved how Booker said, like, I've never seen anything like this before.
It was Michael Cole.
Obviously,
it was Michael Cole.
Obviously, you don't watch SmackDown then.
Yeah, watch the product.
Honestly. I mean, it was good the first time she did it, but then when she did it again, it was just like, yeah. It's just a bit.
It does look gross, though. It's a great spot.
Laura does it.
Ooh, ready?
Yeah, but she doesn't realise she does it. I said put your arms out. She does it with both arms, and her arms bend the wrong way, and I'm like, holy shit. It's like, the arm should stop bending there, but yours continues to here.
There's a split on the stream there. The first time she did it on top, and then at the pay-per-view again.
Yeah, I mean, the first time that she did it as well, it had more effect because it was Becky Lynch and it was the armbar thing.
Yeah.
So you could just believe it because the arm does go that way. So it looked horrific. Whereas it was just a cashing in on it again. But like you said, the reaction from Cole, like never seen it before, and yeah, shocking.
That would actually be pretty great. Ed's suggesting that Bayley thinks Alexa's faking next time she does that arm injury, so she targets the arm and ends up breaking it. Which, I don't know, that wouldn't turn her heel, because she'd be right to think that she's faking, and I guess she would be faking if it wasn't already broken. So
she's laughing manically when she does
do it.
Yeah, we'll deal with the consequences later.
Well, in a wrestling match, yeah, you should. If the referee isn't stopping it, then you should target it. That's your job. Am I wrong?
The UFC mentality here, where you just keep punching the person who's dead on the floor until the ref stops you doing. Right? Yeah. It's not wrong.
Not wrong. Okay, so Diva's done. We move on to The Miz. All right, more Divas. The Miz retained. He beat Dean Ambrose, and we all get a point. Is that everything? Yeah, great. Okay, so then next up was.
I watched this pay-per-view with my friends, and for some reason, my mate really likes Dean Ambrose. And I was just like, how can you not be frustrated by this character at the minute? And it was like, I literally preempted everything that he did in the match. And it was like, watch. And I know that we call people for 5 moves of doom, But I was like, he's literally going to do nothing in this match now. He will get beat up. He will respond with ridiculous punches where he jumps on someone and just like does this weird slappy thing that never actually touches anyone.
Yeah.
He will then do a series of clotheslines that look sloppy. He will then do a bulldog that is just bobbins, and then he will do that stupid pretend clothesline thing, wrap up in the ropes like he's projectiling himself back, and he doesn't actually hit it. And then he'll just go for the dirty deeds, and then in between it, he'll probably jump off the turnbuckle and do a standing elbow drop on someone. And he literally did all that. And that was all that happened. I was like, he doesn't. The only other move that he does is a swinging net breaker, which, for the most part, he does all right. But Sod's Law, when you point it out, he botches that nearly, and it was just like, oh.
He also does that thing where instead of hitting the ropes like a normal person, he like jumps up onto the second turnbuckle.
Oh god, yeah, that was my other mate pointed that one out as well. He went, "Don't forget that move," yeah. And also, before he does any kind of like sprinting or running, he does that little like run on the spot thing before he does every kind of movement. You know, like the Peter Kay run.
Yeah.
So, oh, Ed's also just mentioned the tope.
Yeah, he does do a dive. It's true. Yeah. Everyone does a dive.
So I did just, and I know that he's going for the brawling style, and that's the kind of thing, but it literally feels like cookie cutter stuff, and it's just I know everyone has their own style to a match, and you can even look back to like Bret Hart back in the day with the technical wrestling, and it was the same stuff. But it's so passable with Dean Ambrose. There's nothing that makes me think that he stands out. I feel like anyone could do that. And the crazy faces and the twitching and the sticking the tongue out, and I just get so bored of it. And it's just, there is nothing to his character at all. And I think back to like when he was in the Shield, and it's like, I don't know if it's just because you've not seen him for so, like it's not been rammed down your throat for so much, but I just feel like he was a lot more original then, and it was easier to watch. I don't know, it's like the Cena thing. I always think like everyone goes on about like over a period of time in the 5 moves of doom and stuff. If you watch him in that first match that he had with Angle, he actually did wrestling. And it didn't look as sloppy as what some of his stuff does now. And I'm like, it feels like a lot of it gets lost over time. And they just get into this system and comfort zone of just doing the things that they do. And then when it comes to the point of trying something different, it looks really sloppy. I don't know if that's just a natural thing or whether I'm just looking at it too deeply or I'm expecting too much. I don't know. But like, 2 characters that I'm so done with in this company is Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. I cannot care less about what they do at the minute. They are instant turn-off characters to me. I want to fast forward through everything that happens.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I think you're right. They get into a routine. Certain moves get over, so they stick with those. 4 or 5 big moves. They have to use those in every match because, hey, the people pay to see those moves. And then you never see a DDT anymore.
I know that the argument can be made like Austin towards the end of his career, was the same thing. It was just punching all the time.
He was over.
But the thing, he was over. But also there was a believability to it, and there was an attitude, there was a charisma. And I know that Dean Ambrose obviously does have charisma to pull the character off that he does do, but I'm just not compelled by him at all, and I don't believe any of it. I don't see any intensity in the blows that he delivers. It all just feels like going through motions, and it just annoys me. Anyway, that's me burying Dean this week. I do apologise.
Alright, that's fine.
Is he your new target? Every week you have to go off on Dean?
No! I just particularly ended up getting frustrated this week because someone was trying to defend him and I felt the need to
bury him.
attack. You can't help what just makes you bored of the products, and I just feel that way when I watch him.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's all fair. I'll go along with all of that. He could and should be so much better, so much more. And there's a certain appeal to a guy who does stuff that you think that you could do. Like, maybe I'm crazy, but I always thought that was the appeal of Mick Foley. He looked like such a normal guy who didn't do anything so crazy athletic or so crazy technical that he's like superhuman, but he would always take the risks and take the bumps that no normal person would. And he was so charismatic about it, and he was, there was something about him that obviously wasn't every day, but he looked like a normal guy. He kind of wrestled like a normal guy, and it kind of it endeared me to him. I think that's why I liked him. And Dean,
I was just gonna say, you nailed it on the end. The word is endearing, because you do.
Yeah.
It was just you couldn't help but like him.
Yeah, exactly. With Dean, it just seems like, I know you're a great athlete, and I've seen you have pretty great matches. You've got a weird, wacky kind of charisma that most people don't have. Why aren't you more entertaining than you are? You have stuff that most people don't. You're not a normal guy, and yet I still feel like I could do your job. That's not the right way to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Okay, a job that I couldn't do. I would actually totally do the job for Braun Strowman. As would Roman Reigns, evidently. Strowman won the ambulance match when the tables were turned. You know that spot that Strowman does 4 times in every match, where he just runs at the guy, and the guy sidesteps, so Strowman crashes into something. Usually a ring post or a turnbuckle or, a
Pile of cardboard boxes.
Pile of cardboard boxes, whatever it is.
Some metal poles.
Some metal poles so they clank everywhere, yeah. Well, Reigns did that. He tried to spear Strowman. Strowman sidestepped, and Reigns just jumped into the back of the ambulance.
Yeah, like a slip and slide.
It was the best finish I think I've ever seen. So, Roman's a doofus, and Strowman, I hope, is done with him.
No.
I don't think he is. No.
I don't
think
think
he
he
is
is. I hope he
Not
is.
at all.
Hope we've all learned our lesson from this one. Me and Beans got the point for this one. Smoot, Will, you thought Reigns would win. I see
He almost
why.
did. He almost did.
Well, no. Will thought the big gimp was gonna win.
That's true.
It's true.
Arguably he did.
I would so love it if you said that to him in his character. You're really just a big gimp. Yeah, Ed's just said in the chat, and I think I might agree. Fatal 4-way at SummerSlam for the title.
I feel like that would be a shame, but yeah, I can see it.
I just got this feeling with SummerSlam, and I know we mentioned it with the women's match as well. Like, it's the same kind of thing as WrestleMania, where you just feel like they're getting everyone on the card. And it just means that you're going to have an awful lot of multi-person matches, which might not give you the matches that you really hope for.
Yeah.
I would love to see Lesnar and Strowman at SummerSlam. That's a match that has the same kind of intrigue as the Samoa Joe and Lesnar match did. But
You think this was a missed opportunity to do a double turn between these two?
Between Roman and Strowman, like, they kind of did.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I mean, I know they didn't, but they kind of did.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
yeah, it was a weird one, wasn't it? Because it
Depends how they follow up with it now. But I came out of it thinking that, well, I went into it thinking that Strowman's awesome. But I definitely came out of it thinking that he's easily the more likable. he got a lot of sympathy from being killed, and he looks awesome for walking out of that wreckage and refusing medical attention. You know what they really should have done, and I think they should have done this with, you know, he had the elbow injury and they showed video of that, but it would have been even better here is if he was pushing all the medics away and saying leave me alone, and then they had to shoot him with a tranquilizer dart.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Like they do with rhinos,
Really
you know.
intently listening then, thinking I was really interested in Chuck's ulti. And he's gone back to that shitty TNA booking again.
You think that's a shitty idea?
Shooting him with a tranquilizer gun. Look, I can only imagine the argument that you also would have made if someone did show up with a tranquilizer gun, where you're going, where the fuck did he get that from?
I may have said that, but it would have been great. Because he's supposed
How would
he's
you
like
have
a
made
wild
him?
animal.
Would you have made him have to shoot him multiple times because he refused to go down with the tranquilizer as well?
Maybe 2, yeah. Maybe he powers out of the first one. Like
It goes into slow
someone's-
motion.
like when the guy's in the sleeper and they have to drop the arm 3 times.
I like the aspect of they actually had to call 911 to get the jaws of life from that ambulance wreckage.
I like how Cole was very informative, instantly to tell you that that's the jaws of life.
Yeah.
I mean,
repeatedly.
sweet lord. Oh,
They call that the
God.
jaws of life. That's the jaws of life. The EMTs are here.
Yeah.
Fire Brigade's here with the jaws of life.
Also, Heath Slater won a match.
Do you know what?
Get
Though?
off camera.
I thought that was really well done, the way they did that. I thought, normally with these type of things, WWE tend to get it really wrong and
Yeah.
you have like a dodgy camera angle that you shouldn't have or something. No.
Yeah.
I thought they...
Well, they had that too.
Well, yeah, they did.
Well, no, on the actual pay-per-view, when it happened, it were fine, I thought, because it looked like security camera footage when it showed them going the other way. Because it didn't have the I could accept that to a degree, but then when they highlighted it on Raw, they had a fucking camera on the dash fucking facing Roman Reigns as he was putting it in reverse, and it was like, for fuck's sake, stop doing it!
The EMT driver, the usual paramedic, really likes doing YouTube videos of himself, you know. Just... So he had that set up anyway. That's okay. The one I have a problem with is the one directly behind the ambulance.
Yeah, where it was like on the truck.
Yeah, it was like on the back of the truck, and there was obviously no cameraman there, so it was installed in the back of the truck. They just had too many cameras. Like, if you have a security camera one, you have a guy with like a handheld running out after them, then fine. Maybe there's like an interview area set up, so there's another one just happens to be there, that's fine. But there were way too many angles that shouldn't.
Do you know what they just needed to do? Just have the cameraman that followed them into the back and have him, I don't know, running towards it when it happened or something, so you got shaky cam footage or something, because it just makes you believe that it wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
But everything has to be so well produced.
I don't know, you're kind of blowing a hole in me in what I was saying there, but I thought the way they actually did it was one of the better times they've done something like this, especially with that impromptu match where you...
Yeah, I like that. Although, then my complaint is, why was there an impromptu match?
It's a full time.
It was, like, I know you can't throw a real match out there to get ruined like this, but do you fill time? Why was there time that needed to be filled? And would they,
there was
if
a
this
serious
was
accident.
Yeah.
Like a serious
but
accident.
why'd you fill time though? What are you stalling for?
To give people something to watch, I guess. I don't know.
Just throw the main event on. Like, this is if there was an actual accident, like, you know, when Jerry Lawler died, they took him out of the back, and the show went. Well, he did. I'm not saying anything. He died.
My god!
It wasn't the word that you used. It was the emphasis on the word "died"
That's my gimmick.
It was almost like you enjoyed it, Chucks. Do not answer that question. Jesus.
Knowing that he's okay.
God damn.
No, but when something actually happens, they take the cameras away, and the show goes on with that, you know, in the back. So why did we have this on screen the whole time? That's like a... Will's right. It was really cool the way they did it, and as a TV show, fine. It was, whatever. At least they thought about it, which is usually all I ask for. But it did feel like it's a little convenient in it that we've got this jobber match going on now, and it's just long enough. And
it was kind of made better though by the fact that they were still getting ready. You saw.
Yeah, I did like that.
Keith was still taping his wrists up, and what was it? Like Hawkins was still putting his boots on. So that was quite cool.
So it really was like, you guys get out there.
Yeah. You can imagine Vince, like, I know he didn't, but you can imagine someone saying, "You two get out there." And...
Yeah. Ed's also says, so is it legally okay for me to take my enemy, put them in an ambulance, and back it into a wall, just because there was an Attitude Era?
No. It was after the match, so I mean there was no like stipulation to it. So that's attempted vehicular manslaughter.
It's a good point, actually.
It was. And I thought that going into Raw, surely you have to start the show with Kurt Angle saying Roman Reigns has been suspended.
Yeah.
Or there are criminal charges pending. Or you don't say anything at all. He's just not on the show and no one says anything. But he's
too busy thinking about Dixie.
I deserve the title match. I said a few weeks ago that I'm the contender, so where's my title?
I know, yeah, Kate will be total dick.
Yeah.
Just to come out like, I want me. You just nearly killed someone.
You tried to kill
them. Shit.
And it was too tough to be murdered.
I mean, like you say, I mean, Strowman obviously did similar things to Roman months back when he threw him off a backstage area, a loading dock on a stretcher, which he obviously wasn't on, but it was hilarious. But what happened to Strowman after that? Because surely there was repercussions. He disappeared for a couple of weeks or something, didn't he?
No, that was when he got injured. I think he was still around. Did Reigns take a week off? I think he might have taken a week off.
No, I mean Braun, didn't they like do some kind of repercussion for him? Like he was banned from the arena the following week or something like that. There was something, I'm sure there was.
Well,
Ed says idea Roman Reigns sneaks into the arena in a disguise under the name Foam and Veins.
Ed's also mentioned about the jobber match that they put on. He's put also you had two matches that you logically could have put on that night, and you put bonus points on it that you blew off as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have had Balor and the Drifter go out, it's true.
You could have had the Drifter actually sing a song about what had happened in the back.
It's true.
Oh, he would have to like freestyle it though.
You won that match with Slater?
Yeah, Slater won.
You never saw it.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. So, the one thing that was also awesome, I thought, in this was obviously when Strowman came out of the ambulance, obviously he was covered in blood, but he went up to that white wall and dragged his arm across it to make sure he got the hands through, which was a good visual. And also the bit where he leaned on the headlight, the mirror of the other vehicle and looked back, and you just got the shot of his eyes looking for him. Like shock, but the blood coming off his face as well, and it was such a good visual. Yeah, it just worked really well, I thought. And like you said, it just kind of really did babyface it. I mean, I know that everyone cheers him just because he's against Roman Reigns,
and just because he's awesome.
Yeah,
he's like, obviously, I think we've gone through this before. The best matches are usually long and technical, and they've got smaller guys doing really athletic and impressive moves. But there is a place for a big guy who just wins a lot, and it's bowling shoe ugly, as JR would say. But there's a place in wrestling for that. not too much of it, because it sucks when there's too much of it. But there's, when you've got a guy who can do it well and he looks the part and it's just fun. In this world of, Heath Slater and Kurt Hawkins, it's fun to have a Braun Strowman.
Yeah, definitely.
This will make them change their mind on Roman.
No. No, Roman's still the guy, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure we will get to the aftermath of this a little more later on. So, Heath Slater defeated Kurt Hawkins. We had no way to know that this would happen, but it did, so no points for anyone there. Then the main event was very short, as we expected it to be, but I thought was pretty great for what it was, too.
Yeah.
Lesnar did beat Samoa Joe, which is unfortunate, but hey. I think this feud in general was so good that they kind of have to do it again. It seems like one of those filler programs, a bit like the Fashion Police, that goes over a little too well, or like better than expected. So now it's, maybe this guy is something. Maybe we should consider dragging this out. Me and Beans, we both went Lesnar. Smoot Will predicted Samoa Joe, so splitting the points there too. Anything to say about this match before I get to the overall?
The finish felt like a John Cena match, where you just hit the finisher, that's it, and everyone goes off and does their own thing. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. A lot of people said that Samoa Joe could have probably taken more than one F5.
See, I didn't mind it as much because I get to the point where I'm a bit fed up with people kicking out of finishes.
There's a time and a place, and I don't know that Great Balls of Fire is that time.
I mean, the story is that he got caught, and I think to get caught with the finisher, it makes sure that the F5 stays as a finisher rather than it just being into one of them things where you think he's going to kick out. And it made logical sense that he just, he managed to get out of the submission and land the move that he needed to, and he just won the match, which he needed to do because he was in serious trouble. So I think it kind of played into the story quite well. I think the damage is done when you get people kicking out of finishes all the time. The trouble is Brock hasn't wrestled since WrestleMania, and you had the last match, Goldberg kicking out of how many F5s did he take? Was it 2 at least at Mania?
Yeah, I can't remember. I know Taker took 2 before going down for the 3rd.
Yeah, which is fine because it's WrestleMania, but the trouble is this is the first match since then. And before WrestleMania, when did Brock wrestle before that? With it, you know what I mean? It's like every time he wrestles, it's normally on the big show, so people normally kick out of the finishes. So I think it felt a little bit weak because you're not seeing Brock pay-per-view, every month, delivering one F5 and winning the match.
But if they were to do this again at SummerSlam, if it's going to be a singles, I don't know, it might be a 4-way. If they did another singles, then I think Joe could kick out of one.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. You've done the first one, now the second one, it makes a good false finish.
Yeah, and like I said, at the end of the day, as good as this pay-per-view was, it was still seen as a B pay-per-view. So, this is, we have other matches where people walked out on matches, and do you know what I mean? We had another between Strowman and Reigns where it was a bloody ambulance match because they don't want to pin either guy. So, it was a B show where they was just making sure, that they just move things along, really. And as I can understand the argument that Samoa Joe losing to one F5 is seen as a little bit weak, but also Samoa Joe just had a match with Brock Lesnar where, he threw him through a table right at the beginning, and he looked like a legitimate threat to him. So,
yeah, he did. And then Raw the next night, you had Paul Heyman acting scared of Samoa Joe. No, he beat you. We don't want anything to do with you anymore. Back of the line.
Yeah,
so, that's you sold that well, I think.
I thought the whole segment was really good on Raw.
It was really good.
I mean, damn. Also on the Raw, I mean, when Brock got in his face, I mean, did he say or do something that he wasn't supposed to? Because
the whole thing felt real.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think more than anything else is why Cena and Reigns have been so heavily rejected.
Yeah.
Because nothing they do seems real.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pretend. It's all so... Yeah, it's also try hard and scripted.
Yeah, true. And I also as well, and again, you know, it's that point of when you question what's reality, because when you saw Brock like get in his face, and you were like, shit, and then you also got Heyman's reaction behind him of like, oh fuck, like something's happening, kind of thing. So it kind of justified your own reaction to it, because you was reacting the same way that Heyman was. Because you actually thought something was, you know, something's gone wrong here, or he's done something to irritate him, or he's cut him off when he shouldn't have.
It was when Lesnar took the mic off him. And how often do you see Lesnar speak live? And
yeah.
That was... I mean, he spoke to the most I think I've heard him speak for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that we were saying, like, I mean, it was only a few weeks back, we was saying about how bored we were with Lesnar just doing the usual spots on Raw, coming out and, you know,
standing
in the ring and Heyman doing the talk. And then the following week they actually did the thing with the interviews backstage, and Lesnar actually spoke, you know, and it did the interaction. And even though that segment wasn't as memorable as some of the others that they'd had, I just liked it because we actually finally heard Lesnar talk. You know, it was something different. And this again, like you said, snatching the microphone away and just losing his cool kind of thing was just that instant gratification for something that you thought, this is legit. You know, it
got over character so much better than anything else. Joe is angry. He's got something to prove. He wants to fight all the time. And Lesnar is cocky as fuck. Great. You know, both guys are tough guys. They know that they're tough guys. They know that they can win. And they both just want to have a fight. Which is awesome. There's no jokes there. There's no... I'm gonna leave it all in the ring to entertain the WWE universe. It's just this is what would be happening in the UFC.
Yeah.
It's not even what would be happening in boxing, where even there you kind of feel like, yeah, this is for the money. I think we all know this is a show. This is what, this just seems so much more legit. Even though we all know it's not.
Yeah. I mean, even Reigns came across well in that segment.
Better than usual, definitely.
Yeah. He did the little dig at Lesnar not being there. No, I know, it definitely seems a lot more real.
And it's like to say, is it so hard to sit down before each show and just ask themselves that question when they look at these segments? Because, like I say, it's only small things that need to take place. I mean, this stuff, you know, the same thing was achieved at the end of that promo than what they would have done if it was the usual poorly scripted promo. Do you know what I mean? Like, the end result is the same. They're still walking towards that same match that they're going to be having at SummerSlam, whichever way they're going to go with it. But just from Lesnar's reaction and going nose to nose and Heyman and the way Kurt acted, it was just enough to make you think, shit, this wasn't supposed to, or this is, like you say, a bit of realism coming into it. And when you look at each of the segments they've got on the show, how much would they need to do in each of those segments to still achieve what they're trying to achieve, but just put that little bit of realism in it?
I'd say, and we're getting way off the Great Balls of Fire theme right now, is that you don't try to put realism into something. You just try to limit the fake that you're putting into it.
Yeah.
Because, like, there was that one that always sticks with me after it was a Survivor Series, I think, when I'm pretty sure it was Dolph Ziggler beaten up or something, and it was when he was doing the thing with the Authority and got fired with Cena and Ryback and whatever. And he said, everyone turned on me, Big Show turned on me or whatever it was, and I was getting beaten down, and all I was trying to do was entertain you. Why are you trying to entertain me? Is that, I guess that is your job, but really, don't you as a sportsman entertain me by being good at sport?
Yeah.
Why is everything about putting a smile on my face? I don't want a smile on my face. I watch Game of Thrones, which is depressing as fuck. Like, it's
no, but
I really hate that whole entertainment thing that they've got. It has to be hammered into everything they do.
You nailed it, really, because when you were thinking back to the Mick Foley thing, and you were saying about how he's endearing and everything, we all remember like the documentary of after he had the match with The Rock at Royal Rumble with the 18 chair shots to the head, and his first thing that he went to the back and spoke to Vince about was, do you think that the people got the money's worth? Now, that's his mindset as a person, but his character didn't show that in the match.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. There was a difference there. And the thing is with Dolph, if he said that and that was what he believed as a person, then that would have been portrayed in the performance that he also had in the ring. But when it's not, when it feels forced, it feels forced, if you know what I mean. It's not something that you...
And it always does, because these guys grew up in the Attitude Era. This generation of wrestlers we've got now are from that era where things were cool and there were explosions and whatever, all of that crazy stuff. You know that they have that kind of in their mind, that's the wrestling that I want to do. They are forced to use those words, the WWE universe and perform and all that stuff. It's not what they would say. And that's, I think, as big a problem as anything else.
Yeah. No, and I mean, we've spoken about it many times, but it's like I say, it's just that mindset of WWE where they have to own everything. They have to, like you said, WWE Universe, and they have to have their own phrases for everything, and it frustrates you, just like the mindset with the world in general, like how they compare themselves to NFL and things like that, and I don't know, the whole thing is a bit frustrating. They never try to just act in the real world. They have to be, it's a bubble, and it just frustrates me when they...
real quick, just the point totals after the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'll just...
Sorry, we went way
okay.
off, or I went way off, sorry.
Will, you ended up with 3 points out of the potential 8 on the show. Sorry, dude. Smoot 4, Beans 5, and Alexa, god damn you, I would have had a perfect game. I managed 7 out of 8 on this one, if not for that. Count out. So, overall. Beans 18 out of 38. You're still hovering around that 50%. It's okay. It's fine.
It's back up on...
random
See
would
what
get you
happened, though? Like, no, this would have been a 2 or 3 out of 8 if I'd have gone with what I think they should have done. Now I'm going with the boring predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slowly but surely, I'll try and work my way back.
Smoot 20 out of 38. Will 23 out of 38. I've managed to pull away. This is the start. This is the beginning of the end. I'm on the fast lane. Hopefully no roadblocks. Currently on 27 out of 38.
Wow, this really was a winner for you, Chuck.
This was a winner. I needed this. I needed my heel victories.
Damn.
It's actually lucky I didn't notice that all of my predictions were heels, because I would have changed a couple of them. Probably
anyway,
Enzo to win, actually.
I'm only 2 points behind Smoot now. I've got to get out last.
Well, you don't have long to wait. We'll be predicting again.
Smoot will make even more wacky predictions when Dixie shows up as well. I think he might have died.
No, I'm still here. I'm still here.
He's gone.
I'm still here.
He muted his anger.
Yeah, Battleground next week. We'll be doing all this all over again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we want to talk about from Raw and SmackDown? Was there any particular talking points?
Can we talk about what might happen next week? Here with
Dixie?
yeah. Throw it up to the stream here. 1 sec. There we go. Yeah.
Is it actually going to be?
Hold on. Ah. You just saw it for a brief moment there. Hold on. I have to readjust some things here.
Oh god.
Yeah. There we go.
That Tumblr face, my god. That's like the look that Kurt gave his child if they were like peeing all around the living room or something. Instead of going to the toilet.
Also in Nashville. Just funny phrasing. Wouldn't it make sense? So what we know is Kurt said "I love you" to whoever it was.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Did you not hear at the end of Raw? He was on the phone and he did, like, that was the last thing on the show.
Yeah.
Oh damn! I'm
said, like,
sorry.
I'll see you next week. I love you.
No, I fell asleep.
Right before he
honestly,
said
no,
that.
no, right, seriously, I remember, right, this is awful now. I was trying to watch Raw, and I was like, completely, like, drifting, and I was like, I've got to get through this, and this is, you know, first world problems. I had no room left on the Skybox for SmackDown, and I needed to get it watched. So, I'd fallen asleep, and I remember seeing Kurt was on a phone, and I don't remember seeing it or hearing anything that he said. And then when I next looked at the screen, like, it said end of program. And I just had to delete it and go to bed. And I didn't even think that obviously that was a storyline aspect.
Yeah,
You did well to hang on that long.
I think I missed the last match as well, to be honest.
So he said, "I love you" to whoever it was. So people are kind of speculating, of course. Does he have a son on the roster? Does he have like an illegitimate child? Is Chad Gable? Is Jason Jordan his son? Like, that kind of thing. Either one. Domestic. Someone actually did a side-by-side picture of Kurt Angle and Jason Jordan, and you wouldn't think it, but there is similarity there. There's, you know.
Okay.
Could be. And the other thing that I guess we have to consider is the Steph angle still going 17 years later. Does he still have a bit of a thing for Steph?
Did Steph have an illegitimate child with Kurt?
Who would now be about 17. Still too young to sign to a main roster. We have to wait a few years for that one.
What if it is like he's having an affair with Stephanie instead of Dixie? That would
Yeah,
make more
and
sense.
also then they do the storyline where one of the Triple H's children is actually Kurt's.
Oh, Aurora Rose. Imagine. The Attitude Era really has returned. We've all been asking for it for all this time.
Oh.
But the rumor is that we're going to go with Angle and Triple H at some point, whether it be WrestleMania or whatever. And you'd think Steph has to play into that somehow.
Yeah.
So it could be. And that means no Dixie, so that's also a positive.
And that's more likely than Dixie, to be fair.
Lots of questions. Moving slightly away from it, did you watch the Kurt Angle documentary?
Yes.
Yes.
How awesome was that?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing. You know the bit where they said that he broke his neck for the first time in WWE when he got rammed into the turnbuckle by Lesnar?
Yeah.
I don't ever remember seeing the footage of that. That was pretty nasty.
Yeah. It was a violent shot too, with his head whipping back like that.
Yeah, it was just a whiplash. It was, tragic.
Also, I really liked it when he was telling one of his children, "You want to see Daddy be a milk driver or whatever it was." Like that, to me, was probably the perfect way to sell the network.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Yeah, but they didn't tell you that they had to do that scene about 6 times, or the child went, no.
I saw him driving.
I want to watch
once.
WCW.
I'd love to see Angle drive a milk truck again. I think that was my favorite thing that's ever happened on wrestling TV.
Oh no! Really?
I think because the era that I was not too far into being a wrestling fan. I was a big Kurt Angle guy. I was, it was like the height of my markdom, and then he did that thing, and it was like this. It was so awesome.
The $1 billion princess
Austin with
just became a Dairy Queen.
Exactly. Breaking out the hard stuff. It's homogenized, whatever it was. JR was excellent. Steph and Austin with the sad face. It's not even an angry face. He just looked really, really
sad.
like heartbroken that his appreciation night was ruined. It was awesome. So great.
See, I think it was that I was that big an Austin fan that was actually gutted at what he'd done. It's like he's tarnished one of Austin's treasured Raw memories.
If anyone gets a minute, there's actually a clip on WWE.com, which wasn't shown on the documentary. Just to tell you for a couple of minutes where he meets Shane.
I thought you were going to say where he meets Dixie.
He's backstage at a SmackDown before the Hall of Fame.
Right.
And he meets Shane in the ring. And they talk about the King of the Ring match.
Oh, wow.
And joking or not, they kind of agreed to having a rematch.
Oh.
Oh, God.
But yeah, no, it's a cool little. I don't know why it wasn't included in the full thing, but yeah, if you get a chance to turn it for a few minutes.
Do not let them anywhere near glass, even if it's sugar glass.
Well, they're joking about that because apparently, the second suplex, I think it was, Shane didn't want to do it. Told Angle.
Yeah.
This is what's shown in the clip. Shane was telling Angle no, and Angle won't just do it.
Because the second time, that's when he hit the glass, and there's that sickening thud from Shane's head.
Oh,
he just falls straight down.
Yeah.
But do you mean like because they came back through the other one, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you saying that he went through the first one on like the third try and then said no more, I'm not doing it back out? Because like he did that again and he didn't go through, and then Angle just threw him through head first instead. He didn't even bother with the suplex anymore.
It was like how he'd learned on when he came back through, though, when it didn't work for like the third time. Like he landed on top of Kurt as if to say, fuck off.
Yeah, but definitely a fabulous documentary on the network. Give it a look if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, the 24 stuff is just
phenomenal.
Every single one of them's been class. They've all, there's just an air of quality about them. Ed's also just said in the chat as well, did you guys see what Ryback was putting out there this weekend? That he was supposed to face the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 30.
Really?
I had heard something about that, yeah.
Now, there's a frightening thought.
Yeah, definitely.
Apparently Goldberg. Why can't they just do Goldberg?
I know, and you can't believe that Goldberg's been and gone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, how many times did we predict that for WrestleMania? That Ryback was going to bloody say, like, there's no one here that can beat me or something, and even Goldberg just come out to spear him.
Yeah, that's money left on the table.
Mm.
Yeah, Ed just said apparently Warrior's wife shut it down.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, the rumor.
Oh, okay.
So what? It doesn't say what Warrior thought about it. Like he wanted to do it, but Dana said no.
I don't know. No, I think he means that she shot down the rumor that was the match.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean that doesn't even bear thinking about. Obviously, the tragic events that took place the day after the Raw that he was on.
Yeah, in hindsight, it would have been a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, crikey, if something had happened on the weekend and it was in the ring, I mean, yeah. That's very worrying indeed. I think that pretty much covers it, guys. I don't know if there's anything else we want to mention or...
Well, it's a week late now, but I don't know, did we talk at all about the freestyle between the Usos and the New Day last week?
Last week, yeah. It's
Oh, we did, no?
the tail end of the show.
Did you mention it? Oh, I forgot all about it because I hadn't seen it at that point. Now I have.
Oh yeah, we
something.
did briefly. Yeah, it was.
What'd you think of it though after you saw it? All right, great thoughts.
No.
Great thoughts.
I cut out there for a second.
No, I was just asking what you thought of it after you saw it.
Probably nothing that you guys haven't already mentioned last week. It was cool. It was different. I want to see more of that kind of thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
I was expecting a little bit more rhyming, but that might have been my really like granddad expectations of rap.
Yeah, you're very white.
Same.
I can't deny it.
Very white.
Right, I think that's our cue for getting out of here. So, we'll be back next week where we will be previewing the Battleground pay-per-view, which has obviously the wonderful flag match and a Punjabi prison to look forward to.
Yeah.
So we will be doing our predictions on that one. Obviously, anything happens in the week, we'll be talking about that. Thank you very much for listening to the show. You can find us on the internet at www.iwcradio.com. You can find the show on YouTube. Just search IWC Radio. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you'll get to notification when we're going live. You can find us on iTunes. If you can give us a review, it would be much appreciated, and subscribe. Also, we're on Twitter at the IWC Radio. If you want to send us any questions for the show, use the hashtag IWC Radio. And that pretty much sums it up. So thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Good night.